going on, nation? DanielJon. I hope you guys are all good, and I hope you're okay. And I mentioned the other day in one of the workout vlogs that I got a new camera and I tested it, and you guys said it was a good camera, and I said I'll show you exactly what it was. So that's what I'm going to do in this video. Now, rather than doing a separate video on my other cameras, I thought I'd actually show you in this video the cameras I use, why I use multiple cameras, and what shots I use them for, etc, etc. So without further ado, before we start this video, make sure you got yourself a cup of BBC, big black coffee. And I think we're ready. Now, the first camera I actually got when I realised I wanted to start doing YouTube videos was a Sony Handycam, a HDR PJ200. It came with a built-in projector, 5.3 megapixel camera, and the footage you're seeing right now is actually projected up onto one of my walls. I turned the light off so it projects better. And that is recorded with my DSLR camera, so it is pretty good quality, and that saw me for a good year before I realised that I needed to acquire a new camera in order to progress with my videos. All in all, it was a really good camera. I picked it up it was quite expensive because it was brand new out at the time, but it done everything that I needed to do, and it had the projector, which was real cool at the time, and I wanted to, you know, play around with that and see what I could do with it, and I have used that to its full potential as well. But after a year or so, I really wanted to take my video quality to the next level. So that is when I started looking at DSLR cameras. And that is when I acquired this, which is my Canon EOS 700D. This has, from the Sony Handycam, the Sony Handycam is perfect for all day, everyday use. But when I wanted to start adding those touches to my videos that made it look unique, made it look professional, allowed me to add good color gradient and things like that, I really needed something to step up to the mark, and that's when I got this Canon EOS 700D. It's a 22 megapixel sensor, so it is real high definition. That is what you see when I'm in the gym recording my gym workouts. That's why it's so high definition, because it is a very good sensor, and I have full control over what I want it to capture. So I can control not only the zoom, the exposure, how much light comes into the camera, the shutter speed. I can do a lot of slow motion effects with it. I can catch in, you know, 60 frames per second and things like that, which comes in when I come into the editing software that I use. It's a lot easier to gradient the footage opposed to a 5.3 megapixel sensor that was in the Handycam. So when I got this, that's when my YouTube channel started changing into like high definition and things like that. Although the actual Handycam I have got actually records in HD, but it's just not as easy to edit with. Once you've got this footage, with the DSLR, I actually turn off all of the presets, so I'm actually recording raw footage. If I showed you this footage now, how I'm talking, it's actually very flat. There's no color to it. It is almost black and white. And the reason that is that I record it all manually, so that when I come into Final Cut Pro or Premiere Pro, it's a lot easier to add a gradient, different kinds of exposure to make like darker areas over here, because that's a very dark area of the room, lighten that up. Excuse me, BBC. So that is when I stepped up to that mark, and I'm still learning to this day, because there's so much you can do with cameras and times and places. And this is the one that I mount mostly on the mirrors, the tripod and things like that, and it gives me a really good solid shot. The Handycam is handy for the miniature tripod, because this doesn't weigh a lot. The DSLR weighs about 750 to a kilograms, so 1,000 grams, sorry. Or 750, give or take. This only weighs, maybe about 200 grams, so it's easier to put on a miniature tripod, get real low corner angles, something that the DSLR wouldn't be able to achieve. And that's when that comes into play. Now, the new camera I actually told you guys about the other day is the new Samsung Galaxy camera. This is by far blew my mind. I couldn't believe when I bought it. I've done a lot of research, I watched a lot of reviews, I actually made sure that I was actually spending my money on something that will benefit me, and the only reason I really got this camera was for vlogging. Now, you guys may know that we've got a vlogging channel, me and Leanne. It's always in the description, go and check it out if you want. And the reason I got it for vlogging is because the Canon DSLR is too big for walking around when I'm at streets, museums, places like that, when we're out and about in restaurants. It's too big to just hold, keep in your bag, keep in your pocket. So it wasn't really ideal, although the quality of it is perfect. It wasn't ideal for taking about, putting it in Leanne's handbag, because I don't carry a bag. So it was just a lot easier, and rather than carrying around a big carry case that I do have for this DSLR, and also this is a bit too bulky to be putting in your pocket. So we got the Samsung Galaxy camera, which has got a 21 times optical zoom, which does give a perfectly clear picture. You guys saw this the other day in the actual workout video, and a lot of you guys commented on how sharp and clear the picture was. Now, I haven't actually turned off all the presets on this camera yet because I'm still learning to use it, but eventually once I realise how to do that, I probably will start playing around with it nearer their time. But I have been using it for some of its cool effects, which you guys will see in a minute. Now, it actually has built in the new Android 4.1 Jelly Bean, I think it's called, which it has everything that the new Samsung phones have. So it has got Instagram, Facebook, you can text off of it. As soon as I take a photo, I can edit it in, you know, the software that it has on there, the photo wizard, which you can see in the pictures. The camera is, in fact, I think a 16 megapixel. And like I said, it does have a 21 times optical zoom, so it is really good for those long distance shots. And when I used it in the gym the other day, I did use the zoom and just, you know, trial and error it, see what it's exactly like. And with this camera, it actually takes a SIM card. Like I just said, it sends messages. It's got a pop-up flash, which you guys are going to see right now. And I'll take a picture so you guys can actually see it in a second. But the crystal clear finish that it actually gives, the flash is very well balanced. You can see I take this photo here, and it doesn't actually flood the picture in any particular way. It actually gives it a very even, you know, flash. It doesn't spot the flash. So I was overly happy with that. And, you know, pretty much that is the new camera. That is for vlogging only. I'm going to be using that on the new channel. It is just so that I can chuck it in my pocket, go to the cinema, go, you know, out for a meal and not have to worry about it. It's a bit bigger than an iPhone. I think it's a bit smaller than the new Galaxy Tab 3. So that is what we're going to be using for vlogging. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If there is anything else you would like to know, then please let me know in the comment section. I hope you had your BBC. And that's about all for today. So, oh, and the Samsung Galaxy comes with an 8GB internal memory. I've also got an 8GB memory card in it. But you can only use 4GB of the actual internal memory, and the reason is because it's got so much applications on it already pre-installed. So that's about all for today. So I hope you guys were good. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, take care, stay safe, and see you guys next time. Peace. This is actually the weight that I want to get down to. I want to get down to about 170 pounds from 195. So that is where the journey is taking me.